a very important person in my life and in, I would say, specifically the e-commerce life of Austin, Texas, has joined the show, but not just Austin, very much abroad. I first got to know him as a YouTube creator, is how I first got to know him. Until later on thereafter, I actually got to meet in person. I'd say a 10-minute conversation actually gave me my entire YouTube strategy for the brand I was working in at the time. I am speaking of the one and only Eric Bandholz. Bandholz, get inside this show. Get in here right now.
Yeah.
My friend, I must say
I
that
got to make myself little. Am I too big? Should I move my camera back?
it's up to you. It's up to you. I've heard that similar depth is good for retention, but I'm just glad that you're here, my friend. And your mustache looks, I think, as good as ever.
Yeah, and then I've got the.
Oh, let me get mine.
Got it?
Okay,
You got it?
I gotta get mine. We gotta, yes. Look at that.
Yeah.
Huh? What do you think of that bad boy?
Look at us. Just cowboys doing some cowboy things.
I don't know what this bad boy is called, but that for sure has got a name. That flat bill on it there.
It's
that is sharp.
Let's see here. Can y'all see that?
Yeah, that's it. Looks like a Stetson. I've got a
That's
Stetson.
a resistol.
Oh, it's a resistol.
Yeah.
Well, it's sharp.
It's all the X's, man. I've been wearing it, but the 40 X's.
Eric, when I first got to know you, of course, I just knew you as a creator, a person upon the internet that I would stumble upon. And then as I got to know you a little more inside of the e-commerce world, of course, you had this unique angle for helping men love the man in the mirror, beard oil, the products, all the things. And the foundation of that, I really love. And I think it's true and it's genuine and it resonates with me as a man. Okay. And in the male psyche when it comes to selling to men. But, when I look at your website now and all you guys are doing now, I just feel like there's been an evolution as the years have gone by. I particularly loved this phrase that I saw there. Beardbrand is a fragrance house disguised as a beard care company. I thought that was excellent. I don't know I don't know if that was from you or who that was from, but if you would, man, would you step back and just give us some insight on Beardbrand, where things started and how things have developed over the years? Because I love where you guys are at right now.
Yeah, we've been in the game a long time. And, this is actually kind of bringing back a little bit of memories being on Shark Tank. Look how professional you look.
Aha!
I feel like I'm talking to a pro here. Well, I am talking to a pro here.
I love that.
And so we launched way back in 2012. I had this idea for Beardbrand as a way to really help men feel confident about growing a beard out. And that was kind of the starting point. Like, if you can remember way back then, I don't know if this was the case for you, but for me, there's a lot of pressure to not have facial hair.
Yeah, true.
And so like Beardbrand was kind of really started to be like, all right, man, here's how you convince your wife to grow a beard. Here's how you convince your boss to grow a beard. Here's how to, convince your mom, who's probably going to give you the most flack about growing a beard.
Yeah.
And that was kind of our mission for the first, several years, is really helping guys make that transition. I think, our target audience was going to be more of like the professional beards. Yeah. Like, I don't think, construction workers and, bikers and all those guys had any issues growing beards back then. It was more of like the doctors, the lawyers. And basically we won. So it presented an interesting problem. It's like, what happens when you actually win the war? Like, what's going on? Like, you don't see anybody getting flack for growing facial hair anymore. And, for the young guys out there, you may not realize this, but when we were younger, like you had to grow it out, or you had to shave. Like,
you had to shave it. You had to shave it. I mean, everybody, all the boomers, they love no facial hair, and it's very straightforward. Hey, if you're going to be a pro, if you're going to be a professional, you get the facial hair off of your face. You're not an underclass person who's going to be part of the permanent people that are left behind. You shave your face, and
It's like the Yankees. You like sports.
Yeah,
I mean,
exactly.
They'll allow a little bit of mustache.
Maybe.
You get away with that, but everything else you
gotta go.
UPS, Disney, all these companies had like no shave rule or no beard rules. So a lot of those policies changed because they couldn't hire anybody anymore. It's like,
wow.
So yeah, I mean, you'll see UPS drivers now with facial hair. Of course, they want it neat and tidy, which I agree with.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, like Beardbrand went through a lot of evolutions. We really were one of the first players in the beard care space, and we kind of, helped build up the industry. I'm not going to take full credit for it, but we definitely had a lot to do with it.
Absolutely.
And so basically, the early days were about convincing people like why you need beard care. And then it got to the point where there were plenty of competitors. So it became like, why is your company different than these other players in the space? And now I think we're kind of, unfortunately for us, kind of on this plateau of interest in the beard care space. If you look at common search terms on Google, like how to grow a beard or beard oil or, our company name and our competitors' names, they've all kind of like flatlined it to even dropped a little bit. So, how do you operate a business when your total addressable market, TAM, as we all like to talk about in space, how do you do that? And you see how we respond to it. Beardbrand is basically like leaning into the things that we do well among our competitors, which is develop incredible fragrances. And that's where we came up with that tagline. It's like Beardbrand is a fragrance house, but at the core, our name is Beardbrand, and it's in our name. So we're not going to pretend to not be a beard care company. And I think like that's after a while of trying to get away from the beard, because knowing that there is this potential for the market kind of capping out. And we did that in a few different ways. We have a product called we started using the product name Utility. Product. So we had a utility oil, utility balm, utility wash, utility softener. And we found that was kind of, a little, maybe it worked, maybe it didn't work. People didn't really know what utility was. So we've just gone back to like leaning into the beard. So we changed the utility oil back to beard oil. We changed our utility balm to beard balm, and, kind of leaning into that, but then telling more stories with our fragrances and helping people kind of fall in love with the fragrance.
Well, the reason that I love this, and I think this is a crucial lesson that a lot of us need to hear and think about, is because what I have found is that for a number of businesses, it could be a hat brand, maybe it's a rodeo hat brand, it could be something totally off the wall. But for a lot of these businesses in our space, there is a kind of a soft ceiling that oftentimes businesses will reach. And maybe the TAM's not as hot anymore. Maybe it is leveling off, or maybe you're reaching about all the people that you can for the amount of paid spend you can afford, or for the amount of organic reach you can have. And it's, what do I do at that time for my business? Is it expanding product catalog? Is it reframing who we are and how we're unique in the space? And so I find this compelling, because I think, especially as men's beauty care, maybe I shouldn't say beauty care,
but we call it grooming.
As men's grooming expands, I think smelling nice is a really good other entry point that a lot of the other competitors in your space, I don't think or see are as compelling or as unique as you guys are. So I love to see this reframe, and I love to see this other entry point, because to me, it gives you another layer of uniqueness, and it gives you more ways to grow than perhaps you had before. Is that crazy?
I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Like every idea that I have is always like $1 million idea. And then we go and we execute, and we find out our audience, our customers were maybe not on the same page with that idea. Hey, I got a quick question for you. Who did your ticker? Who's doing your ticker? Is that you?
Nah, it was me. I
You
noticed.
misspelled my last name.
I know. Carson, can you fix that? I noticed it while we were here talking.
Man,
Carson, if you go to the
you know,
front of
I
that
can't
ticker,
go without the D.
I know.
I need
bro.
that D in there.
You got the D. Well, I know you got that. I know you got that.
I need that big D.
You got it. I noticed it. I noticed it while we were talking. But we'll get that fixed. We'll get that fixed.
Okay.
We don't.
Yeah,
we're trying to be pro here.
I'm sorry to put you under the microscope.
I'm glad you did. I mean, you can do that because we're friends. Well, I think it's a smart reframe for you guys, and I also have loved what you are doing. Of course, being a creator yourself, and really, I would say, kind of birthing the brand in that way, in total from the foundation. But I also love what you're doing with other creators, specifically because I've had success myself at doing that. But I saw what you guys are doing with Jeremy Siers. Am I saying that right? Jeremy Siers?
Siers.
Oh, I think this guy's very interesting. I didn't know about him before looking at him, what you guys are doing. I mean, give me perspective on that. Hey, Colin, welcome.
What is up? Got two cowboys right here.
We do. We do. You got to get your hat. You got to get your hat.
One. What's the brand I should get?
I like Stetson. He's got a resistance.
Yeah. So this is the same company owns Resistol. It depends on your head shape. So if you got kind of like an oval head shape like me versus a rounder head shape.
I don't know. What is my head shape?
Well, you go to a store that has multiple different you see which one fits you better.
Yeah, you got to go try them on.
Hey, I don't know this. I've never gotten a cowboy hat, so I don't know.
Well, you're on the show, and so it's only fitting now.
That's true. I'll get one.
Hey, give us insight though, Eric, on involving Jeremy Siers and other creators or athletes, and how that has been effective, or how you've seen that play out for Beardbrand.
Yeah, you know Ryan Fitzpatrick, right?
Exactly.
If you look on his show, you'll see some Beardbrand products on his shelf as well.
The Fitz, the beard.
I know Fitz magic. So I mean, for us, you know, as a creator, you have unique opportunities to meet with other creators. And Jeremy, actually, I think he was a customer of ours for a long time. He loved Old Money as his favorite fragrance, and
love it.
You know, just ran across a video of him talking about his beard care routine and talking about our products and how much he liked it. And for me, that's always kind of like the first step is like, you want to find people who authentically like your brand and like your products. It just, I think consumers are smart. They can sniff out like a paid endorsement versus like authentically liking stuff. So he had done several videos recommending our products, and you know, we reached out to him, and you know, for us, it's kind of important to develop relationships with like-minded people. You know, we're not in it to make the most money, evidently, but we are in it to enjoy the journey. And the journey is very enjoyable when you can build relationships with people who you admire and respect and enjoy spending time with. And Jeremy is one of those guys. Like we spent a lot of time together. If you go to his YouTube channel, he came into Austin. We did some whiskey tasting, and he's just a really great dude. So we noticed in our post-purchase surveys that he was driving a fair amount of new customers. And with that, we're like, hey, Jeremy, you want to do, you know, a custom fragrance and see how it does? And sure enough, that custom fragrance did well. It's Bold Fortune. And it was a special edition that became a permanent edition. So it's been really nice to work with him and get exposure to his audience.
So that was organic. That was organic. You weren't using like tool like Outer Signal or anything. You saw, hey, this guy's making content with our stuff. And then you look in the survey, hey, he's actually driving customers to us. Like, we should reach out and see about doing something more solid here together.
Yeah, we did a solid together, I guess.
Well, that happened with me. That the same thing happened with me. Max, gosh, I can't even remember the guy's last name now, but he turns out he was this super hot baseball player that every 12-year-old wanted to be. The guy was still in high school, and lo and behold, he's got 250,000 Instagram followers, and he's like driving people to us because he loved the product. So I love that kind of organic discovery. And I mean, those kind of relationships that have that authenticity and genuineness behind them, they yield real fruit, which I mean,
well, not only that, you know, you're able to also get through the ups and downs too. Like when you have a manufacturing issue, or, you know, you're out of stock of something, or, you know, like maybe you had a couple of bad customer experiences and those people complain about it on, you know, YouTube. Like those things are going to happen in business. You're never going to bet 1,000. And, you know, like to be able to build a partnership really is something that, you know, kind of we do well. We've been able to maintain our relationships. And I saw you talking, we're going to be celebrating 20 years, my wife and I, my business partners and I. We're celebrating like 13 or 14 years, you know, so it's like we do relationships well at Beardbrand because we're authentic. And, you know, we also understand there's more to life than just making money. And I was, you know, Chris Mead, he was on X just yesterday or today talking about like how he felt like he couldn't repost certain things because he was worried about, you know, his nets being sold. Right. And I'm like, what's the whole point of building a business if you have to self-censor all the time?
Yeah. Fair.
So like, how do you build a business that you don't have to censor? And it doesn't mean you go around saying terrible things, but it means you can just be yourself, your true authentic self. And one of those ways is ideally you're not raising money. And two, like you don't have any singular relationship that would put your company out of business, like a Target or a Walmart, and nothing else, you know? So being a little diversified with your sales channels, I think is a good strategy from that. And then just like, I don't know, man, like, especially in the corporate world, like you as a small, or me as a small brand operator, you're going to have, your differentiation is being authentic. Like the Gillettes of the world, nobody cares about them, you know? Like, so why not be a little bold? Why not be more tuned to yourself?
That's a great point.
And you may burn off people, but you know, the mass market stuff is for the mass market brands.
Yeah.
So the niche down is where the opportunity can be made.
Yeah.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah. Go ahead, Colin. I want to take this to Eric's physical location because I think it's also something unique about what he does. But go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, how are you trying to duplicate that success that you're having with those guys in 2026? So like you have this proven formula where you're like, okay, we found this works. We found these types of things work. How are you thinking about doubling down, tripling down on that to accelerate the business really aggressively? Have you already found some people? Are you willing to announce them on the show? Maybe.
No. I mean, we've reached out to people, and you know, we've kind of kicked the can down the road. But I'm kind of one of those guys where if it doesn't really feel easy, especially with a relationship, I'm not trying to force it. You know, so I talked about earlier. You know, Ryan Fitzpatrick has some of our products on the shelves, and we talked a little bit about working something out. But this was like right before he like absolutely blew up. I mean, and he was already well known beforehand, and we were talking about maybe doing something together. And then I think it's just like he had so much on his plate that, you know, a little company like us, he didn't need the money, he didn't need anything. He's like us. He's like a like-minded person. He's like wants to do the things that are important to him. You know, so we're open to those, but there's, unfortunately for us, right now, there's no system. Now, I say that as I just got off a call with Alan Walton. Do you know him? Spy guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's on X, and we were chatting about, you know, Claude Code, and I guess a podcast can't go by without talking about AI. But in my mind, like, how can I build like internal software solutions that allow me to build systems to outreach and establish relationships with people who would identify and line up with our company is something that is on my blueprint from an operational standpoint, and see if we can build some of those systems to initiate some of those relationships, maybe outside of our core, because our core, as Chris and I were talking earlier, is just, it's a small industry. Like in terms of like the beard care community on YouTube is like me and 2 other guys who I might have pissed off. So,
that's part of enjoying the journey. It's part of being free. Be who you are.
Yeah. So we got into a little YouTube beef maybe about a month ago. And there's another guy. I guess there's 4 of us. But beyond that, there's not much. Like it's a really small niche. So I think for us, it's leaning into like our fragrances, our EDP. These roller balls are, absolutely phenomenal. We're innovative with them. We're using MCT oil as a base versus an alcohol. They travel really well. So we have like a unique product offering, and then our deodorant as well. I've got like my shirt here to kind of show.
Whoopsie.
So like most deodorants will leave,
Right.
a white mark, whereas right here, I sprayed product here. Our utility deodorant doesn't leave any stains. Lasts all day long.
That's great.
This right here is a character from Denmark. We go to Denmark every summer.
That's amazing.
Yeah, John Dillerman, he's got like a penis that goes on forever. It's a children's
Right.
TV show. The things they do in Denmark.
Europe's a
amazing.
different place.
It really is.
Place. Well, Eric, man, we love and appreciate you, and we appreciate you making the time. We know you're a busy man, but before you go, I would love for you to just highlight, take 60 seconds, highlight for us where people can actually come and physically experience the Beardbrand Barbershop. I mean, we've got people that are going to be coming in town for Commerce Roundtable
If you
very
come
soon.
in Austin, come to beardbrandbarbershop.com. We've got the best barbers in Austin. Unfortunately, you're not going to be able to do a walk-in. So you got to go early. You got to book early. Yeah, our barbers are booked up for weeks in advance as well. So
Flex.
Flex. I mean, we do have the best barbers in Austin. And then
Nice.
it's our vibe. It's laid back. It's I know we were talking about selling to women before I came on, but it's an all dude barbershop. So maybe it's a little less PC if you're okay with a little bit of non-PC culture. Swing by the Beardbrand Barbershop.
Nice. Some antics.
Yeah.
And I think it's unique. I think there's real added value for having a physical experience that people can walk into and associate with your brand. To me, it's very compelling, and I personally love it.